Hey, everybody. What the fuck? What's up?
The Greeks had determined the circumference of the earth, not only that it was round, but what its circumference was by simple measurements that were then not accepted because of dogma. So we have to, if we want to progress, we have to beware of dogma.
How did they figure out the circumference of the earth?
Oh, it's really neat. I forget it was Aristarchus. I forget which of the was the Greek now. It's amazing. Well, what he said was, look, so at a certain time of day, a certain time of the year, the sun is directly overhead at 12 noon. Okay? And I can tell that by looking down a deep well, and I see the reflection of the sun exactly in that deep well. Okay, so the rays of the sun, which are coming down in the same direction towards the earth everywhere, it comes down in the deep well. But 100 miles away, the well, because the surface of the earth is curved, the well is pointing in a little bit different direction. So the sun's rays come at a slightly different angle. So on this day, I will measure that the sun is directly overhead for me, but I'll get my friend 100 miles away to measure the angle of the sun relative to the well, and that tells you that the earth is curved, and if you do the geometry, you can work out if the 100 miles of the earth's surface causes the sun's rays to suddenly be at that angle, how curved the earth is and what the circumference of the earth is. It's plain geometry that in principle any high school student could do.
But when you say 100 miles away, first of all, how are they communicating with this guy 100 miles away?
They're not immediately, but the guy writes it down, and then he takes a horse, and they come and compare notes later.
And they use a sundial to determine the time?
The sundial to determine the time, and the...
But 100 miles away, would there be a deviation at all in the time, a minute or two?
Well, but so to some accuracy, you get it wrong to some accuracy.
Right.
But they did pretty damn well. They came up with the circumference of the earth was darn close to the circumference of the earth. And so it's amazing that they use these techniques.
So they were just so confused and so curious about it all. They just tried to figure out there's got to be a way to figure this out.
Well, and they didn't, and they weren't forced with the dogma that the earth is flat.
Right.
As I'm told today, you were dealing with some people who are still forced with that dogma.
It's very strange. Yeah. How do you feel about that in
so
2017?
It's amazing. But, nothing surprises me
Not only
anymore.
That, gravity's not real and dinosaurs aren't real.
I know. And the people who say gravity aren't real, I have a great solution.
What?
It's a
Jump
great
off
solution.
a building?
You walk out the window of the 13th floor and test your ideas. And the great thing is do it before you reproduce.
But it's a magnetism thing, they believe. It's electromagnetism or something like that sucks people down to the
Yeah, that's what they can think. So
fascinating.
Carry a magnet and look at it as what happens as you're falling to the earth.
Well, what's even more hilarious is that we talked about this before the podcast started, the Japanese weather satellite that takes a full image of the Earth. Mm-hmm. What is the name of that satellite again, Jamie? It takes a full image of the Earth from 22,000 miles away. People keep saying in this flat Earth theory thing that there's no images of the Earth in full, that they're all composites. That's not true.
It's not true.
There are images of the Earth that are taken every 10 minutes by this one satellite. High resolution. You can access them online anytime you want. But people see those and they want to think they're fake, but yet they believe there's an ice wall around Antarctica that you cross over and you fall to the abyss. Where's this photo of the ice wall?
Yeah, where is it? Or have they never? Well,
how does someone fly from Japan to the United States?
They don't believe that people can fly around the world. I've done it. And that they're all lying. Here's another one. Have they ever thought of time zones? Why are there time zones if the Earth is flat? Why are there time zones? The only reason they should go from New York to L.A. and see, you know what? The time is different.
Leprechauns.
Do they think no, but they probably think it's a human invention.
Yeah,
but
probably.
The sun is still shining in L.A. when it's gone down in New York, and they can call their friends and check.
Oh, yeah.
And if the Earth was flat, that wouldn't be the case. It's only the case because the Earth is curved. I mean, so those simple things should convince people. But people are willing to throw out evidence if they have a belief that's really firm. And what I said before is we have to realize the easiest person to fool is yourself. So if you're not willing to...